Well, I can tell you this, and this is a good opportunity just because I don't get a chance to do this as much as I'd like. Like, I've got to give a big shout out to all of our advisors. It has been a taxing year. For perspective, my advisor is on Zoom, in a Zoom live meeting, 7 hours a day minimum. And they are hearing nothing but problems from a business owner all day, every day, and trying to help them solve it. So we definitely got tested at our skill of being business therapists as much as being business advisors this year. So no doubt that if we feel that, it's obviously real in the market. Here's my perspective on this, though. I've talked to a lot of business owners, from tourism that completely got wiped overnight, to restaurants that are somewhat surviving, to professional services that seem to just kind of be trucking along with, lawyers excited about all the legal and litigation coming out, to the industries that you said are, thriving. Even this platform we're on, Zoom, that guy just, he'll never, 25 generations will never work again.
Right.
And so you look at what's happening in this market, and what we've seen is that we have this really fun phrase we used to have pre-COVID, and it was, the cool kids know their numbers. Simple phrase. Cool kids know their numbers. What we found is that most, and this speaks to your story, Tim, most business owners do not spend enough time on their financials. They spend like an hour here and there. It's more of a pain point for bookkeeping and accounting. They don't actually spend time analyzing their money, their financials, and make it a big part of their business. We force that. So if anybody watching that thinks they want to come work with us, if you don't want to have to go through that, don't work with us. We're going to force you to look at your numbers constantly. And we use that financial engine. And the reason why I bring this up, here's what we experienced. We actually had most of our businesses have more money in the bank than they had ever had prior, because we focus on raising cash thresholds for growth. Most business owners, when we meet them, the first thing we look at is cash in the bank. I would say 9 out of 10 owners, they do not charge enough, and they do not have enough money in the bank. And we can show math to prove why. It'd be luck if you got through all that's going to come at you as you grow your business through the years at the way they're running the business. And so what we found was this. It was really scary. The businesses that had just started with us, they felt it the worst versus the business that had been with us. And at first we thought it was us. We're like, we're amazing. But then we actually realized it was a component of what we had done. We had risen everybody's cash thresholds. We had set them up in a cash position to be able to pivot just fine. Because the only reason why it affected small business owners so badly in most areas is actually because of the amount of cash they had as their threshold when it hit. And no one's preparing for this. I'm not telling you that you had to plan differently for the pandemic. I'm just saying they already weren't even in a good spot on their cash threshold because of how they approached it. So I have a little different lens to that, but that's my perspective. The people who had the cash threshold, even the restaurant owners, we have a lot of restaurant owners that are doing 30% of the volume. They're making the same amount of profit. They figured out how to do it because they knew their numbers and they had the cash reserves to get through that little gap of uncertainty until it opened back up. The ones that just, even travel, I've got travel companies that are shut down and they've got a ton of cash in the bank. They're just waiting for it to come back, and they're building out all the tech and building all the systems. They're growing in a different way. And they're just understanding what that looks like. So that's what our experience has been, actually, maybe a little more unique than others, but no doubt. I mean, this was crazy. And no, if anybody's like, oh, I should have saw this coming, or I should have planned for this, or no, like I would have understood a bull market running for 8 or 9 years. I probably should just pull back a little bit just to make sure my investments, because something could happen, especially it's an election year. But for some folks to drop 60, 70% overnight, you couldn't have imagined a scenario that would have created that. So it's not your fault. Just for those that are listening, their owners, it's not your fault.